is good? What is good? What is good? What the fuck is good, baby? Bitcoin is up, absolutely rocketing up 12%, and you fucking love to see it, baby. What is good? How y'all doing? How y'all feeling? How are you all living? Rockefeller, what's good? Stone, what's good? Jackson Ray, what's good? Nikita Bear, what's good? Kayla, what's good? What's good? What's good? Thread guys, baby mama, good to see you in here, baby moms. What's good? What's good? What's good? What's good? What's good? Poker, what's good? Digi Money, what's good? Nick, Crypto, what's good? Gentani, what's good? Been a minute. Sparky, what's good? Caleb, the whole squad, what's good? Rugger, what's good? Pastor Nick Mode, it's sunny, what's good? It's dark. It's not sunny in New York. It's been 7 degrees every single fucking day since I've moved here. It is 7 degrees every day. It's freezing. It's shivering. There's no reason to go outside. It's cold. It's dark. It's miserable. It's like London, except there's a Trump Tower. It's miserable. It's freezing. I'm not having fun. Love you too, Mongo. You're all, yep, it also smells. Chat, be honest. I'm trying to weigh the odds of if I should start taking these hair pills or not. Like, is it worth being low T to have like 5% more hair? Be honest. How bad is my shit? I'm tired of thinking about it. Be honest. Is it worth nuking my testosterone for like 5% better hair? Seriously. Everybody's saying no. How bad is my shit? 10 is like it's time to let it go. And 1 is like you have like sexiest man alive hair. 10. Actually, wait, back up. 0. Don't answer. 1 is you gotta go Hasib. And 10 is like you got the best hair of all time. 10 is like you got the best hair of all time. 1 is like, bro, you got to let it go. Wow. Y'all think I'm chilling? It's not that bad. Dude, it's just like scary because I used to have like the best hair ever, and now my shit's like getting like a little bit like questionable. Like, what are we talking about? I'm too young for this shit. It's getting a little bit. You gotta get rid of the beard. You getting there with your eye for now? I think I'm just gonna start taking it. My wife worked in Durham. She said your hair is fine. Tell her I'm 24. Tell her thank you. Actually, I don't even care if that's true. Tell her thanks, because I'm kind of concerned. Like, okay, you could double up. You could start taking, you could take the hair pills, lower your T, but then jam the testosterone. You could do, you know what I'm saying? You could do both. You could compromise. You could jam the T and lose it and like PEMDOS out somewhere in the middle, and you could be cool. You feel me? Somewhere in the middle. So if I rate, am I gay? That was good, right? So I don't know. Nah, bro, you'll stop producing testosterone naturally. Yeah, but that's the whole point of like peptides, right? So you could just jam. It's like caffeine. It's like, all right, you took too much caffeine, now you're tired. All right, just drink more caffeine. Like, what? It's literally what it's made for. So, all right, welcome back to the stream. Yesterday was fucking. If you're watching on Twitter and you want to chat, twitch.tv/threadguy. And if you, I don't know, if you're watching somewhere else and you want to chat, twitch.tv/threadguy. So, all right. We are up 13%. First and foremost, TJ, your hair is fine. It's a mature hairline. You're being neurotic. What does it even mean? What did you just call me? A fundamental Big 5 personality trait characterized by a chronic tendency to express negative emotions like anxiety, depression, anger, and emotional instability. Would that describe me or no? Really? Is that how you would describe me? I'm not gonna lie, I'm mad like negative. I would describe my personality as deeply optimistic and exciting about the world. I'm very wide-eyed and excited about the world, but I am extremely self-deprecating and negative in my humor. Like, I love a dark, self-deprecating, self-loathing ass joke. I love that shit. And so that's why in my writing, especially Twitter and my Telegram group, I'm just like dark. Like it just gets dark. So all right, let me address this first. There was this post made by some fucking retard on Twitter, and he was like, it was a screenshot of my wallet. It was my wallet. selling a Bitcoin for 61,000 United States dollars. Okay. And what he didn't, I didn't really realize everyone had this wallet. Apparently everyone has this wallet. So we could just talk openly about how many Bitcoin are in the wallet. I didn't sell one Bitcoin for $61,000. I sold 9.5. Okay. And then what he failed to post was in the next transaction, I bought back 9.5 in the next TX. Because I don't know if you're aware, but there's this thing called the wash rule in crypto. You know what this is? Before I explain you what the wash rule is, crypto. You do what's best. You're the pro. You know what the wash rule is in crypto? Okay, in stocks, if you buy, okay, so say I bought a stock for $100, and then I sold it for $80 to realize the loss on the stock, you can't buy it back before there's like a, I don't know, 60-day period or something like this. You have to wait like 60 days to buy it back, or else it doesn't count for your losses on your taxes. But in crypto, there's no wash rule. So if you bought a meme coin, say you bought $1 of a coin at $1 million market cap, and then it wicked down to 500K, and you sold it, and then you bought it back immediately, you're in the red, but you still have the coin at the same price. You're in the red, but you keep the coin at the same price. So I have this Bitcoin, my whole Bitcoin stack. You have to do that before December 31st. Yeah, but it's fucking February. What do you mean? For the next year? Obviously for the next year. What? Like, it's always December 31st. So I have all this Bitcoin, since we're going to fucking pocket watch, 9.5, that I bought for like 85K each. And I sold all of it for 61K, and then I bought it back immediately for 61K, and I saved like 200 bands on taxes. So it got posted. I'm like, are you are you actually stupid? These people, are you actually slow? So if you just like, I don't know, this is like a public thing. People know about this, but yeah, I should probably get my crypto off that wallet. But this is a public thing, like the wash rule in crypto. You should read about it if you don't know. If you're down a lot of money in a position and it's just sitting there, you might as well fucking sell it and buy it back, because I know half the people in crypto are evading taxes. I can't do that. Like, I'm like too public of a figure. All my money's public. I can't evade, like, I'm paying my taxes on time. So I'm fucking gonna take any advantage I can get. And that is what we are going to go with. So that's what that was. Number one. Yeah, not accounting advice. I don't know what to even say about that. Number two is, I'm going to be completely honest. So by the way, if you saw that, you're like, and believe that I just sold 60K Bitcoin, you're a complete idiot. Number two is, what a fucking day we had yesterday. Seriously, what a fucking day we had yesterday, huh? Now that it's over, at least locally, I'm just going to come out and say that yesterday was probably the worst. I don't know if it was the worst day we've ever had in crypto, but it was one of the worst days ever. From when I think of my worst days in crypto, FTX was the worst for sure. That like May 2020 pump dump flash crash was really bad. And October 10th was probably the third worst. And then I think yesterday's got to be top 5. You seemed shook yesterday. I mean, yeah, I was down like, fuck, I don't know. I was down an ungodly amount of money yesterday. I don't know if I like hit it well, but I'm fully exposed to the market. I was down an ungodly amount of money yesterday. I'm sitting here doing math on what my tax bill is for 2025. And then I am doing math on how much my portfolio is worth, and then how much my portfolio lost over the last 96 hours. And I'm thinking to myself, holy fuck. I was a little bit shook. I was down an absorbent amount of money yesterday. I did my best to just like fucking, like, there's nothing you could, like, here's the thing. When something like that happens, it comes at you really quick, and then it puts you in a rough spot, because to make a rash, it requires you to make quick decisions with low information and high emotion. And so it's really hard to stay rational in a spot like that. And I mean, I learned this on 1010. Is on 1010, the entire world of crypto as we knew it was getting destroyed. And I was extremely exposed to the market in alts. And I sold the pump fund bottom very openly. I had no choice. I owed money in taxes, and I had money I couldn't afford to lose that was getting lost. And I had no choice but to do it. And you kind of, I don't know, you learn, I guess I didn't learn enough, but you generally learn from those spots. I had no choice but to just slam the bottom of pump. Because the problem is when money's moving this fast, in crypto in particular, there's no circuit breakers. Like, there's no circuit breakers. In stocks, by the way, if this was Nvidia, and Nvidia's just wicking down candle after candle after candle, they would just halt the stock. They wouldn't let it happen. They would stop it. Crypto, they can't do that. And so things can spiral both directions way crazier than you expect. And so you get put into, the thing about crypto is you get paid asymmetric upside for holding asymmetric risk. That's just what crypto is. You get an opportunity to experience and realize these parabolic gains, but to be able to expose yourself to parabolic gains, you also take on risk, real risk. And that's what days like yesterday are. It's like, it's hard to recap exactly what happened or how it happened, but they do happen. And I kind of think the worst of it is done at the moment. We're going to get through and we're going to talk about it. I generally think the worst of it is done. I think there was a crazy spiritual washout in crypto. I think it was really important, seriously, not joking, that Michael Saylor came out on the earnings call yesterday and was like, we're putting money behind quantum. Whether they actually do anything about it is relatively irrelevant. It's just the fact that the number one holder of BTC cares and is addressing this quantum thing. And we have something to point to, like, no, he has a plan. That's important. Now, I think the real difficult part here becomes this range. This is where it could get just kind of brutal, in my opinion, is this range. Like, how long do we sit between, like, how long do we sit between here? Like, I don't know. Something like this, probably. And like this. Like, how long do we just, like, play around in this? This could be for a while. This could be for a while. And maybe you could move this higher. Like, I don't know. I feel like until we're out of this, like, 79 range, nothing's really serious. This could go on for a while here. And this could go on for a couple months, right? With no real plan. We're definitely going to probably going to test this again at some point. This could go on for a while. Now, it's not the worst thing in the world, if we're being completely objective about this. I don't think this is the worst thing in the world. This is going to be a fun Friday stream. I'm talking for an hour. Then we're going to bring a poly market trader on. So I'm just going to talk about the market for an hour. I don't think this is the worst thing in the world because it's bad for, check the Zoomerfied tweet. What is it? Bithumb and all. Yeah, I quote tweeted this, brother. It's on my list. I got you. It's on my list. This isn't the worst thing in the world because you sort of get like a grand reset on times like this. And so if we can hold, like, if we lose 62, honestly, I'm just gonna be honest. If we lose the 60s level and we just piss back into 50s and stocks don't move, then it gets ugly. It gets really ugly. I don't really feel like that's gonna happen. Like, I don't know if this was the certified bottom, but you don't want to confidently see us you don't want to confidently see us in 50s and hanging out there. That's bad. That's bad. If we get there, that's bad. It's genuinely bad, and we're going to start fucking spending more time talking about other stuff. But we could just sit in this range for a while, and I think it provides us, like, interesting opportunities in the market because it's hard for other things to do anything when Bitcoin is whipsawing back and forth. Like, it's hard for on-chain to get hot. Like, I remember it was always a thing, ETH NFTs. When ETH was really pumping or really dumping, NFTs were just frozen. They couldn't do anything. And so Bitcoin sitting in this range allows dust to settle, narratives to get picked back up, people to work on, liquid funds to allocate at good prices, venture deals to be low. It just, like, allows a washout of ability to like build the industry back up, because we sort of need a building back up of the industry. And one of the things I'm going to talk about in a minute is I think I've been pretty dismissive of this 10-10 thing. Like, guys, shut the fuck up. 10-10 was months ago. Like, give it up. What I somehow have just missed, I don't know if I missed it, but I didn't really give it that much credit, is that, dude, 10-10 was like 5 days after all-time highs. It was 10-10. It's like 5 days after ATH. I'm going to be honest, I've been really dismissive of it. And I've just been uninterested. I didn't really want to talk about it. I just was like, whatever. Like, I lost a lot of money during it. I sort of mentally blocked it out and didn't give it that much credit to maybe the impact that 10-10 have. But it's not, they're still being discussed. CZ and Binance are taking hella blame for this. I can't really speak on what happened because I don't really know. But it was 5 days after a new ATH break, which is kind of crazy. That's because I'm going to show you a chart in a minute. We'll get there in a minute. I'm going to talk about this and I'm going to back up and we'll get back to it in a minute. Is if you look at a chart of gold and BTC overlaid, we were trading 1 to fucking 1, basically. Until that day. We were going like this, and then Bitcoin, we just broke. Completely broke. And it raises some interesting questions. And so you have to wonder, like, was this enough of a wipeout for us to be done? If crypto as an asset class isn't fundamentally over, which I really don't believe that it is, like, was this enough to wipe? I mean, this is pretty brutal. This is pretty brutal. These lines mean nothing, by the way. I just drew them. This is pretty brutal. We're going to talk about what happened yesterday. It was the highest ETF out, highest spot volume on the IBIT Bitcoin ETF. There was a lot that happened yesterday, and there's some things you can point to, but it's still relatively, like, I don't know. What was it? Who was it? How is this possible that this happened like this? And, like, was that really the great decoupling that happened on 10-10? Like, I feel like I didn't give it enough credit. That we were at all-time high. October 5th, I think, was a let me think back. October 5th was a Sunday, and we went to 126K. We had ATH, and then it was over on the next Friday. It's crazy how closely correlated that was. So, all right, I'm gonna watch a video to set the tone here a little bit. I'm gonna go backwards, and we're gonna talk about some stuff. CZ interview was on 10-10, like it was on that day. Okay, you know my bear case is for ETH after further reconciliation here. My bear case for ETH, I've been thinking about this. I wrote about this in my Telegram. By the way, if you're in my Telegram, congrats. My bear case for ETH is that God will not allow Tom Lee to exit his position green. I just don't think it can happen. There's no scenario in which it can happen. You just cannot get reward. By the way, Tom Lee, I'd love to get you on the stream. I know the every day that goes on, it's less likely because I just can't help myself. But I genuinely am a believer that God will not allow Tom Lee to exit such an irresponsible and poorly managed, poorly discussed position green. It's just like one of these I feel like after a long enough time frame in these markets, you start to realize there's like a certain archetype of people that get paid, and there's a certain archetype of people that do not get paid. And Tom Lee just sits on the side of archetype that does not get paid out in markets ever. It just like can't happen. There's just like, dude, there's no scenario in which Tom Lee, when it's all said and done, exits this thing and is like top 100 richest person in the world, and BMNR returned like hundreds of X's to its stockholders. It just like is impossible to happen. And it brings me to this other thing I was thinking about. And it's like Bitcoin has an opposite problem. Bitcoin has the opposite problem, which is like Michael Saylor is so fucking Chad and insufferable and just like, he's just so right that all the other rich Chads and like central banks and global leaders are so just upset that they have to buy Michael Saylor's bags and make him the richest person in the world to participate, that they don't want to do it. Like, bro, Michael Saylor is so right. They have the Tom Lee and Saylor have the opposite problem, but it still has the same outcome. Bro, I wrote this in my Telegram. Michael Saylor is so just like autistic and obsessed with Bitcoin that Jeffrey Epstein respectfully told him that he's a weirdo and to please stay away. Like, it's just a unique level of autist to get to that point. Like, they have opposite. It's like I call this the Frank D. God's FOMO problem, and I really like believe it to be true. Dude, Epstein was like, please get away from me, is what he said. Don't come in. I don't want that guy anywhere near the island. And you think about it and you're like, yeah, that's who I want to be my dev, you know? And I just can't get over this with Tom Lee. It's like, bro, they let Tom Lee on the stage at the most important MicroStrategy earnings call ever. The fate of the market is on the line, and he gets up there and starts fudding quantum. It's like, you just can't. You've met these people in your life. You've met these people in school or at your job or in like your social circle, and there's just like no scenario where they let that guy leave the richest, you know? It's like the world just like doesn't work like that. And so I don't know how that impacts the market or trading or anything, but dude, these people just don't get paid out. Like, I don't know. Bro, he gets on the strategy call and he's like, okay, so Michael Saylor, tell me, you reference quantum. Tell me exactly how you're going to solve the Taproot wallet problem, what you're going to do with Satoshi's tokens, because nothing you said has any solution to Satoshi's token. And Saylor's sitting up there like, bro, you know Saylor can't stand this guy. Like, you know he can't, bro. You know Saylor can't stand this guy, and he's sitting on that stage, and he's obligated to let Tom Lee ask a question because the shareholders want Tom Lee up there because Tom Lee's, you know, important in the crypto TradFi sphere. And he's just like, Saylor's just like looking at this guy like, bro, he just can't deal with him. And I don't know, it just like rubbed me the wrong way. And I just was thinking about this, and I don't know, man. Trades like this just don't get paid out. There's just no way that gets paid out. And Saylor is, I think, because he's really not. He really believes. I really believe that he really believes that I really believe even if Bitcoin got to the liquidation level of 8K, he would find a way to buy more. Like, he really would. That guy's never selling anything. He starts wicking 1,500, bro. He's done. He's out. He's gone, bro. He's running for the ever-loving hills. You gotta respect the guys like Saylor, because I think there's some legitimacy to, like, the counter to this is you shouldn't get paid out for blind conviction. Dickie was talking about this in Telegram. I think it's a good take. Like, you, at a certain point, you deserve to get punished for delusion, and just like blind conviction is stupid. But there's also a certain level of having so much conviction in an idea that you will die before you waver on it. And at a certain enough time frame, the market either fucking kills you or it pays you out. One of the two things happen. This is like me with GOAT. Not to compare myself to Saylor. I was so convicted I was going to make 10 M's on that trade. It was either I'm getting carried out or I'm making 10 M's. And I got carried out. I got carried out on a fucking stretcher. They took me out back, and they took turns just like shooting me in the face in GTA. The order book they took me out back. They turned the lights off, and they just took turns sniping me in the face. And I was okay with that outcome, honestly. I was okay with that outcome because you just pot commit. You pot commit, and then whatever happens, happens. They took me out. They carried me out on a stretcher, like Garrett Bullish style. Like Do Kwon style, like Old Yeller, and they just... The way they carried me out in a GOAT trade, no one even closed their eyes. They just watched. They actually, not only did no one close their eyes, they forced them open to just watch me get obliterated out there. So that's my take. History is gonna do Michael Saylor well. It's gonna do him well. History is gonna do Michael Saylor well, and we will probably look back on that guy as a legend, no matter what happens. So, all right, we got a bunch of topics. I was gonna start with Jeffrey Epstein is still alive, and he's playing Fortnite, but I think that there's just like more important stuff to cover. So I'm going to start with an intro tweet, and then we're going to talk about what the fuck happened yesterday. This is so funny, bro. Bubble Boy, who has gotten a lot of motion recently for nailing Intel calls. I think this guy, he crushed the Intel trade. Let's see where we're at with Intel right now, actually. INTC, 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 INTC. Yeah, he crushed this. Absolutely crushed this trade. So, love this tweet. I think it's a good place to start the stream today. This is going to be the golden era of active trading. I'm calling it speculative entertainment, whatever you want to call it, we can call it. But I love this tweet. My only advice is to forget the last 10 years. They don't fucking matter, and you're better off pretending they didn't happen. Don't try to apply what worked in the past before to now. We are in uncharted territory. Also, if you think anyone has a moat, unless it's CapEx related or manufacturing related, they probably do not. Investing in something because it's a better product than a competitor's is a foolish thing to do. Everything is becoming commoditized, interchangeable between each other. So you need to trade your public companies like they are commodities. If they don't have a commodity product, they just stay far, 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 far away. Commodities will win, and I don't mean just oil and gas, but I mean the commodity inputs to the AI machine god. Stay strong, my friends. Look, obviously extrapolated, exaggerated post, but I think crypto people are uniquely positioned to trade this environment. Seriously, crypto probably conditioned you with the greatest skill set you could ever ask to trade in this new hyper rotation, hyper technological advancement market. It conditioned you. Because another thing about this is like this take of like nothing has a moat, everything's commoditized, software is commoditized, everything's the same. This has really been crypto. Trading crypto products had to have been one of the most difficult games over a long time frame of any game. Because the thing about trading crypto product is at any moment you could wake up and the exact product that you are invested in has been cloned, forked, and they have an airdrop incentive program, or their token just launched with like better incentives. This is one of the hardest parts about trading crypto products, is that any day you wake up and it's just been vamped. Like the OG is Uniswap and SushiSwap. It's like, okay, cool. You're invested in this product as a token that's trading well, and then the next day it's like, oh yeah, by the way, we launched the same product with the same token with better tokenomics, and we have no fees. Like that is brutally hard to. It's like you're trading the crypto market. Anyone who's been profitable in crypto over a long time frame, it's genuinely not easy to do, and we're going towards this future, it appears, in equities where it's like everything is commoditized. Nothing has a moat. Software can just be vamped any moment with AI. What is the moat? Is the infra the moat? No one even really knows. That can be vamped. And this just like has been the reality of trading crypto. Okay, so like products in crypto get vamped on a moment's notice. They fork your code. They launch the same product. They take away fees. This is the story as old as time. And then the other thing that happens in crypto with commoditizing everything is then meme coins just get attention vamped at any moment. It's like, okay, cool. You hold a sick coin. Like you hold Moltbook and it's going viral. Cool. Here's 10 other derivative Molt tokens. That's going to take all of the liquidity and fractionalize it completely. And then they're all going to die in unison. Or it's like, okay, cool. You hold Chill Guy. Cool. Here's this other viral TikTok meme. And now we're going to steal all your flows. Like this has been the name of the game trading crypto forever. It's been the name of the game forever. It's like, okay, cool. Hyperliquid, you have a sick mode. All right, here's lighter, same product, 0 fees. Good luck. And everyone's like, what? And so I would actually argue that crypto traders are the most seasoned and uniquely positioned to trade this AI eats everything uncertainty era. That's, if I had to distill it down, actually, that's what I would say, is that crypto traders have this unique ability to trade uncertainty because everything is nothing, so nothing is everything, right? They have this unique ability to just trade complete uncertainty at all times, and that, to me, is what stocks are right now on the back end of AI. What has a moat? Does SaaS just like go to zero? How good is Claude Bot? And then it's like, all right, cool. Claudebot is not that great. We're not that scared. But then tomorrow, Opus 4.6 launches, and then Claudebot's 10 times better. And then you're like, fuck, now what does it change? Like, this is the game with crypto. Like, it's happening in the real world, I think, because you have this mass disrupt. I didn't really mean to ramble about this, but I just, like, I don't know. I got focused on it. You have this mass disruptor technology, AI. Nobody really knows what it's going to disrupt. And then you could make a conclusion of what it could disrupt. And then the lab launches a better model the next day. And it's like, all right, get ready to fucking learn Opus 4.6 right now. It's launched. It's live right now. Oh, yeah, it's better. In this business you thought has a moat, Salesforce, we do CRM better. We do CRM better. Fuck it. That has been crypto forever. Like, one of the things you get when you trade a lot of garbage, like these on-chain traders that trade garbage all day, is you get really good at navigating uncertainty. And so a disrupting technology such as AI just brings mass uncertainty to the market. And everyone like doesn't know what to do because they've been relying on this singular strategy that's worked for like 20 years, right? Like close your eyes, anything that has tech in it and we'll be fine. And that's not how it works. It's not working right now. There's not been that strategy in crypto. Has never been a thing. There's not just like one strategy you can apply to crypto that's worked for 5 years. The people that crushed NFTs got destroyed in meme coins. The people that crushed ETH ICOs got destroyed in NFTs because the game just changes. The only thing that stays the same is Bitcoin legs up. It's the only thing that stays the same is Bitcoin legs up. And so I don't know. I think it's just like an interesting thing to think about. As time goes on, you're going to see more and more fear. What's FUD? Fear, uncertainty, and doubt, especially amongst the tech sector in AI or in stocks with AI. And I think you should take a second and think about that. You may be uniquely positioned to understand this game more than you probably are giving yourself credit for. Uniquely positioned to understand this game because that's just like, that's what we come from, bro. That's what we are. If you trade garbage, you can navigate this shit. Not saying you should trade garbage, but you know, that's generally my take. So, with that being said, let us talk about what happened yesterday. Let's talk about what happened yesterday. And before we do it, dude, I'm sorry. I've had 4 coffees today. I'm taking my break early today. I'll be back in... Let me go real quick. I'll be back in 30 seconds. And when I come back, let's talk about what happened yesterday. I have like 20 tweets I want to read to you. BRB. Give me a break on this one. It's been a long day. Get it. Hey, really quick, by the way, there's 7 people in the YouTube. The YouTube goes crazy now. I don't read the chat ever. I'm sorry if you're in YouTube chatting and you think I hate you. I don't hate you. I just don't read the chat ever. So if you want to chat, twitch.tv/threadguy is the place. If you want to like pop in and make a chat and then you can leave, that would be great. So that's the YouTube thing. All right, let's talk about this. First thing I want to say is honestly, I apologize to y'all. I have been relatively dismissive of the impact that Tencent had on the crypto market. I have pushed it off. I've been dismissive of it. I didn't attribute that much credit to it. And this chart is crazy, man. This is Bitcoin 18. This is blue is Bitcoin, yellow is gold. Okay. This right here, October 6th, we made an all-time high at $126,500 for one gold BTC. Okay. On October 10th, right here, 1010 happens. And this is basically, Yo, what's good, Slack? Welcome from the YouTube chat. Welcome, welcome, welcome. This is basically the correlation of two assets. Look at this. I mean, it's crazy. It's pretty crazy. Look at this. Gold, BTC. We're even, we're outperforming. We're outperforming. We're outperforming. We're both pumping. We're both pumping. Gold rips. We are lagging. Then we rip a new ATH. Then 10-10 happens. We die. Gold keeps going. And now I know we don't have 5 years of history on this chart, and you could make any data show anything in a short time frame, but this is relatively. I mean, this is not nothing. This is interesting, and so you have to question, at least for a moment, like, because my thesis yesterday was either crypto died a slow death or everything's about to die. You have to wonder, is this all? Let me get these fucking moving averages off the goddamn chart, dude. Sorry. You have to wonder, like, how much of this is 10-10 repercussions? I don't know. There's no way to know. The unfortunate truth is we probably will never know exactly what went down. And it's unfortunate. But I think you could look at it with a grain of hope, maybe. Like, maybe Bitcoin doesn't suck and something just broke in cryptocurrency that day. And it's not really worth speculating on, but it is what it is. I just thought that chart was interesting enough to share. But here's what happened yesterday. Long post, but important to read. So this was the highest volume day on IBIT ever, which is a Bitcoin ETF that you can trade on the stock market. Okay. So this is like retail flows. Bitcoin ETF. IBIT is Bitcoin. By a factor of nearly 2x, traded $10.7 billion today. This was yesterday. Additionally, roughly 900 million in options premiums were traded today, the highest ever for IBIT. Given these facts and the way Bitcoin and SOL traded down in lockstep today, normally SOL trades with the beta, plus the relatively lower liquidations on CeFi exchanges. SEX? Is that SEX? SEX finance exchanges? What does it mean? CeFi? I'll allow that. This leads me to believe that the nexus of all problems lies with a large IBIT holder. IBIT has become the number one venue for Bitcoin's options trading. So my guess is that a hedge fund trading IBIT options is the culprit. If you look at the 13F filings for IBIT, you'll find a number of interesting names that have the majority of their fund in IBIT. In fact, there are a few in there that have 100% of their fund in IBIT, which likely means no cross margin. In fact, the biggest reason to set up a fund to hold a single asset would be to isolate margin so that if the trade blew up, the brokers wouldn't have to claim any other assets. Interestingly, most of these giant single asset funds are based in Hong Kong. We know that Asian traders, particularly in China, have been deeply involved in the silver and gold trade. Silver is down 20% today, which was the second largest one-day move in a very long time. We also know that the Japan yen carry trade has been unwinding at an increasingly rapid pace. This leads me to think that the culprit for the IBIT blowup was one or more Hong Kong-based non-crypto hedge funds. As Franklin Bai pointed out, the funds being non-crypto would explain why no one sniffed them out. They would likely have few to no crypto counterparties, meaning complete isolation from CT. The last small piece of evidence I have is that I personally know a number of Hong Kong-based hedge funds that are holders of DFDV, which had the single worst down day ever with a meaningful MNAV decline. The MNAV have been holding steady surprisingly well throughout this pullback until today. One of these funds could have been connected to the IBIT culprit, as I highly doubt a fund taking that large product position in IBIT and using a single entity structure would have been the only fund. Now, I can easily see how the funds could have been running a leverage options trade on IBIT with borrowed capital in JPY. October 10th could very well have blown a hole in their balance sheet that they tried to win back by adding leverage, waiting for the, quote, obvious rebound. And as that led to increased losses, coupled with increased funding costs in JPY, I could see how the funds would have gotten more desperate and hopped onto the silver trade. When that blew up, things got dire, and this last push in BTC finished them off. I have no hard evidence here, just some hunches and breadcrumbs, but it does seem very plausible. Let's see if some more concrete evidence floats to the surface here soon. The smoking gun will be a large fund fitting this profile, filing a 13F, showing a giant IBIT holding going to zero. Unfortunately, if a fund had their IBIT position liquidated today, they wouldn't have to disclose the position change until 45 days after the quarter end. So we'd be waiting until mid-May for the smoking gun from the 13F filing. Garrett, no, I don't think so. Hopefully some of you out there with too much time on your hands this weekend can snoop around more. My guess is that word will start to get out because something of this size is just too hard to hide. Additionally, if the broker is not able to liquidate the fund in time, that broker may have a hole in their balance sheet, which would be even more difficult to hide. So basically the thesis is that some massive non-crypto native fund had a huge positions in IBIT ETF and they got themselves at a huge hole after 1010. They levered up and they chased silver, gold. That got destroyed. And they basically were forced sellers on like massive ETF Bitcoin positions yesterday, which would also explain why no one really like knows what exactly happened. Like where exactly the selling came from. You should look at Dovey1 post. She responded. She's in Hong Kong. Okay, let's see. Dovey. Oh, so we have about 30 minutes. I pushed the guy back. Our goat. Dovey WAN. Oh, I saw she responded, but I didn't read it. So she says Hong Kong has no tax whatsoever. Is that true? Hong Kong has no tax, no cap gains? That's crazy. Should I move? We're dealing the biggest Bitcoin options strat fund in Hong Kong and nothing sus. No drama popping up since 1010. So she basically says, no, this is false. I mean, look, at the end of the day, we don't really know why the price action happened the way it did yesterday. But the one thing I guess you can say is that the way this has moved, this move at the end, at the very least, this move at the end, like from this little recovery, this volume pump and just slice through 69, all these levels was some forced ass selling. And the market didn't like it. Like it didn't hang out there for very long, right? I think that's one way you can tell. Is we bounced off that quick. The market did not want to hang out at 60. Like there are buyers ready to go there. And so this wasn't like a grind down. We fucking knifed through it like butter. Like someone was we knifed through it like someone was carried out on a stretcher, just like my Go trade. So I don't, there's no way to entirely know exactly what happened yesterday, but that was the running thesis that got the most coverage. Here's ETF flow yesterday. I thought this wasn't that bad. Tulip King told me it is that bad because generally there's no ETF outflows. Like ETFs aren't really designed for them to be outflows. $434 million of outflows yesterday. So I have this chart for you. Can you see? This is a little bit like small, I guess. Do my best here. So yesterday there was 300 and like this, I guess a little bit off. Maybe this is IBIT only. Yeah, this is IBIT only. So there was 375 million of outflows. On January 30th, there was 530, which looks like the biggest day since 11/18. There was 500. And then this is June 30th. There was 400. Something that's interesting on this chart is October 6th was one of our biggest days ever. There was almost $1 billion of inflows. October 6th. October 7th, there was 900 million. October 3rd, there was 800 million. Like we were getting insane inflows on ETF. Like you could, I guess, attribute a lot of this pump. This last, like this move right here looks like fucking ETF flows. This candle, basically, these two candles was like ETF fucking ripping it. Is kind of interesting. And so there was some pretty severe outflows yesterday, and apparently it's something that like doesn't really happen that much. So this is crazy too. I can't even fully like comprehend this, what this means. I don't know if you saw this, but let's go like this. So Intel, Bithumb employee, what is Bithumb? Just so we're on the same page. Bithumb is it's a South Korean exchange. So it's a crypto exchange in South Korea. A Bithumb employee reportedly sent hundreds of users 2,000 Bitcoin during an airdrop instead of the intended token, causing Bitcoin to trade about 10% lower on the exchange than the broader market. Bro, you know how much money 2,000 Bitcoin is? At current price, what's Bitcoin right now? 70K times 70, 123. That's $140 million. $140 million. So I saw this and I'm like, wait, what the fuck? And then Zoomer posts and says Bithumb acknowledges it airdropped large amounts of Bitcoin to customers who sold it. Leading to large price drops on the exchange. And I quote tweeted this and I was like, wait, what? It's real? Like they misclipped $130 million. Numbers grown since then. They misclipped $130 million to multiple people. And so my conclusion of this was I put a thing and it was like quotes. And I was like, nobody's ever going to trust AI with money. And you got to think to yourself, yeah, all right. We're going to trust AI with money. You're giving your AI money. Like you just are. You're giving your AI money. You're giving your AI your credit card and you will like it and you will enjoy it. And you will give your AI the ability to run trading strategies on your account and you will like it. And there's nothing you can do about it. If we're just being completely honest. Here's a couple more takes on yesterday. One, Jeff Park, who I will probably get on the stream. He actually just followed me. I was kind of hyped. Followed me. I like this guy a lot. Yesterday was the most IBIT options volume ever traded in its history by a lot. Look at almost 10. A lot. Like by a significant amount. This we can maybe read in a second. This is a pretty good take on this as well, which is like not a coincidence that this is the first cycle we don't know who is blowing up, and it's also the first cycle we have ETFs. It is like the price action, you know, one of the things that we talked about a lot on the walk up BTC to all-time highs was that like the people were confused about the flows. Like it didn't feel like it was crypto native because there wasn't a lot of on-chain action happening 2025. Like on-chain was pretty dead, but like crypto's legging, Bitcoin's legging up. Like people were like a little bit confused. And the conclusion we made, at least at the time, is that it's pretty ETF like macro driven. That was the conclusion we came to. It's pretty macro driven. And was it right? Was it wrong? I think it was relatively right. Like the charts say it was right. ETF inflows correlated pretty closely with green candles on the chart. And then things get destroyed and we're like looking around for bodies and we don't know where the fuck they came from. And then people are like, it's the ETFs. And you're like, I mean, all right, fuck. Fine. Like, all right, I guess. It's a reasonable thought, you know? What's this? This is crazy. Look at this. Justin, 1.2 trillion out of the US stock market today. That's market cap of Bitcoin, by the way. Basically the market cap of Bitcoin. Okay, a level for you, then we can talk about the Mando trade. Is Stoic Savage, who's one of our resident quants, one of my favorites, tweeted this chart, reversion back into WVWAP. Flipped 76K and it's higher pretty quickly IMO. If temp top here, look for higher low into WVAL 0.5 around 66K, and if that doesn't hold, low sweep / new lows. And then here's another person I think is really smart, like posted this. Unk didn't even know who he was before the Jez plug. Me? Come on, bro. I probably had the most ball knowledge about prominent CT accounts than anyone in the world. I'm probably the best in the world at that. I don't think there's anyone in the world that knows more ball knowledge about CT accounts than me. Then this is Contra, who I'm gonna be completely honest. It's not the most exciting chart, but he was fucking bearish at the highs. He was bearish at 110K. This motherfucker was bearish. Really good trader. It says Bitcoin likely range between 75 and 55. I think this 55 chart is a little aggressive. Bottom mid to late summer, expecting relative Bitcoin strength versus equities if we get a broad market drawdown and price trades into the 50s, 60s. I think 50s, I don't think we spend much time in 50s. I don't know. But I think the next couple weeks is going to be telling. And I also think that right now, technical analysis is not that helpful. It's just not. The TA guys are not that helpful. The charts are all like, I don't know. I feel like when you get a move that violent on some unknowing news, the charts and the levels are just sort of thrown out the window a little bit, right? Like the charts and levels are sort of thrown out the window a little bit. And then I'll show you one trade of who I legitimately think is the GOAT. Mando tweeted this this morning. Woke up buying Bitcoin. Most underrated trader on all of Twitter, by the way, like by a significant amount. Most underrated trader on all of Twitter. And he posted a P&L on this Bitcoin trade, plus 750K. Disgusting. Threw 4 mil on 5x long. Just disgusting. Every time this guy comes on stream, we owe him some fucking respect. Every time he comes on stream, we owe him respect. So somebody says, imagine stocks go down 10, 20%. How much should we drop? Maybe we'll talk about stocks a little bit after the guest comes on. I can't help but be so like shook after what happened with Bitcoin the other day about the broader stock market. I think there's like a lot of reasons to be bearish in the broader stock market. I'm not going to lie. But there's also a lot of reasons to be bullish on AI advancement. I think there's a lot of reasons to be bearish. But you would hope that if stocks dumped 10, 20%, it would validate Bitcoin's dump. And ideally, we wouldn't die. In a perfect world, nothing would happen that much. Like we go back to 62 and we just call it. That would be your perfect world, in my opinion. But again, stocks are on my game. I'm not a stock trader. I'm like trying to pay more attention to it. I watch market open every day. We pump today. Things pump today. But that would be our perfect outcome, is that stocks dump, we front ran it on not perfect outcome, but like if it were to happen and stocks dumped, then we front ran it on BTC, and then it's just like not that bad. There's like a scenario in which that happens, and then you're like kind of validated. And you're like, makes sense. Stocks told me was a perfect outcome. Yeah, it probably was. But the problem with stocks just like ripping from here is it doesn't like leave us a lot of answers as to what just happened. That's my one thing, is it sort of leaves us like in gray area a little bit. And if we rip back, fuck it. I guess it doesn't matter. But like Nvidia just making it had a good day today. I think Nvidia was up 3-4%. But Nvidia just like going back to ATH doesn't give us a lot of answers. It was COVID level capitulation in the stock market, brother. No, it was not. It was not COVID level capitulation in the stock market. Look at this shit. No, it was not. Look at this COVID level. Like individual names are getting killed, but this is not. Brother, we're at ATH. We're less than 1% off ATH. SAS cooked. SAS is cooked. Individual stocks are destroyed, but like technically speaking, we're still at ATH, you know? Like it's not, you can't really say it's that bad. I don't think. Not compared to what we fucking went through. I mean, this is COVID. Where's COVID? Look at COVID right here. ATH to minus 35% in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 weeks. In 5 weeks, bro. Down 35%. That is not what just happened. Individual names are getting cooked. But this whole wick, top to bottom, is minus 3%, bro. So I don't know. This isn't my game. I just pay attention for fun. I pay attention to for fun, and I will just like continue to believe that this time is different and we're in just like an utter super cycle and the music's not gonna stop as long as Trump. It's hard to be bearish in Trump admin, right? Like I'm super down to ride that. I'm down to ride Opus 4.6 is 10 times better than 4.5. And I'm down to ride this time is different. But this time is different doesn't leave us with a lot of explanations on crypto, and I can't help but just like feel like crypto's sniffing out fucking weakness, bro. I'm still stuck on that. But I had a conversation with Mando. He said AI gets invented once. Yeah, but like the internet gets invented once. You know what I mean? I don't know. I don't want to be like a gay bear. I had a conversation with Mando about this, chat. I'll tell you my conversation, and I'll move on and we'll bring the guest on in 15 minutes. I had a conversation with Mando about this. And last night, I told him my thesis, and I was just like, dude, like, can you explain to me how Bitcoin could just die in a silo and stocks not die? Like, am I overthinking it? And he said, brother, stop thinking. You think too much. You're not even a thinker. You think too much. You don't need, and then he said, you don't need to be insert Gigabrain thesis trader blank name to make money. And I'm like, all right, fuck it. Maybe I am thinking about it too much. But it just, I don't know, it's hard for me to process the Bitcoin move without any follow through. Is weird. Like, unless you're gonna come out and tell me that Binance fucking broke on 1010, which honestly I don't really want to be true, or you're gonna come out and tell me that SPY has to go down 15-20%. If none of those two things are true, it's a little bit like, what the fuck just happened yesterday, you know? It puts us in a weird spot. Like, maybe I am being the thinker. I'm not even the thinker, but like, can you blame me, bro? What do you think about Retake TV? Honestly, I don't, OG. I don't. I'm not gonna lie. Now, something interesting that did happen yesterday that I legitimately think matters is this. I actually think this matters. I'm not kidding. This matters to Bitcoin. It really does.
Strategy, we are going to initiate a Bitcoin security program that coordinates with the global cyber security community, the global crypto security community.
Dude made such a clown for saying Bitcoin would bottom by end of the year. I mean, it's like, bro, traders fucking make trades. Like, you can't clown someone for being wrong.
And the global Bitcoin security committee. In order to help and contribute to consensus and solutions to address the quantum computing threat, as well as any other emergent security threats that evolve. We think it's reasonable and appropriate for us to do this, given our large responsibility as a Bitcoin holder, but we want to do it in a very responsible fashion, and we want to make sure that we coordinate with the global cyber, crypto, and Bitcoin security community, because there are a lot of very, very brilliant minds here. There's a lot of good work being done, and it's likely that consensus will form and solutions will form at the right time in a responsible fashion. So that's our view on quantum.
The thing about quantum is that first of all, nobody understands it. This is just like the baseline. There's no one normal sub 120 IQ that understands quantum. That's just like, we have to like approach it like this. Nobody understands quantum. Okay. So then if you don't understand quantum, the only thing people want, like the smartest traders don't understand quantum. The guys that are buying Bitcoin don't understand quantum. Like there's like a extremely small percentage of the world that understands quantum. So if you don't understand quantum, then you just want to feel like somebody else in charge understands quantum. Like that's all you want. Like, you know that meme where it's like, baby, what's happening in the stock market? And you're like, nothing, don't worry, kitten. That's all crypto traders all crypto traders want to hear is, don't worry, kitten, it's fine. And I think that's why when Michael Saylor comes out and is like fudding the quantum thesis and saying it doesn't matter, it's like bad for crypto. It's bad for crypto. Like it's like, no, this is a serious issue. People are afraid of this. Fucking address it. You don't have to have a solution. Just act like you do. Just because no one. If Michael Saylor yesterday read a white paper for a quantum solution, there isn't a single person in the audience that would fucking understand it. So all you have to do is pretend like you understand it and like act like you're going to have a plan. All we want to hear is some confidence that the guy who owns 1% has a fucking plan. Okay? And so for Michael Saylor to come out on the most important earnings call of their company, probably, while Bitcoin is getting destroyed, and to say we have a plan for quantum is the only thing you want to hear. Because the thing about a washout like what we just saw is you get an opportunity to rekindle narratives. You get to restart narratives. It's like you can, all right, fuck it, cool. We're done with the 4-year cycle's over thing. Our new narrative is the 4-year cycle is in play, which would actually mean we bought them this year, and we fixed quantum, and we fixed what broke on 1010 and we're now correlated with gold, and on-chain decoupling and it's hot, and boom, you can fix narratives. Like, it gives you an opportunity to fix narratives. And so I legitimately think this quantum thing matters. It fucking matters. So here's the thing. Is Michael Saylor's plan. So our position on quantum computing. The position is it's 10 years away. Many industries, including financial services and defense, are dependent on traditional cryptography. That was another good take, by the way. I fuck with this narrative. Start looping in that the U.S. military is at jeopardy to quantum as well. Imagine that. Imagine that. Huh? It's like, cool, you read about crypto coins, but imagine the U.S. military is susceptible to quantum. Same cryptography. So someone's going to solve it. Like, make people feel like this thing can be solved. Significant global investment is going into building quantum resistant protocols. Thank you. The Bitcoin community is engaging on research and development efforts. If Bitcoin requires an upgrade, there will be global consensus. Bitcoin will be stronger after the quantum upgrade. And then most importantly, Strategy will initiate a Bitcoin security program that coordinates with the global cyber, crypto, and Bitcoin security community. Like, dude, Saylor came out and was like, the U.S. military is susceptible with the same cryptography exploits via quantum. It's like, all right, cool. You think that fucking Donald Trump isn't going to solve quantum if the U.S. military is at risk? Bro, like, I'm telling you, do not compare Saylor and Tom Lee ever. Bro, don't ever do that. They're not. Saylor is going to be all right. I really believe it. He's going to lead the ship. He's not selling. And the only risk at this point to Saylor is that he stops buying. That's the only risk. He's not selling, bro. He's not selling. Tom Lee betters. He's not selling. He's not selling. And so they come out, they address this shit. Crypto gets a bounce. And then MicroStrategy's up 26%. Now, look, I know it's fucking battered down. But that's a serious pump, bro. You don't get this type of motion. I mean, Frank's right. You don't get this in stocks. 35% off the bottom. Pre-market lows. 35% off the bottom in a day. Trading like a meme coin. Impressive. And so, if there's one optimistic thing you could take from a washout like what we just had, it's that you get an opportunity to reset the industry at large. You get to reset everything. Wash out all the dead money, wash out all the cockroaches, wash out all the inflated garbage, wash everything out, and then let's run it back. You get an opportunity. You get an opportunity for that. You get an opportunity for that. And so I think Saylor Saylor did a good job yesterday. Bro, imagine you're a fucking Bitcoin holding company. That's your entire company strategies to buy as much Bitcoin as possible. You've been buying since 15K. It's up 5x. You're down on your investment. Your stock is down 80%. And on one of the worst days in crypto history, you have to go on national television and address the world. You want to talk about pressure? What? You want to talk about pressure? What? Go address the world, bro. That's fucking big time players make big time plays in big time moments, bro. Sailor gets up there, addresses quantum. Tom Lee gets up there and fuds quantum. I'm telling you, there's just levels to this shit. Michael Saylor, when it's all said and done, I'm telling you, Bitcoin has a Saylor problem. He's so fucking autistically right that people don't want to pump it because they don't want Saylor to be the richest man on earth. Telling you, bro. The market just pays certain people out. And certain people don't get paid out. Saylor is one of those guys just gonna get paid out, and he's gonna get paid out in such an egregious, disgusting way. Your kids' will learn about him for the rest of your life. You will learn and hear about Michael Saylor in every market textbook forever. He's going to get paid. Michael Saylor is going to get paid because he's willing to fucking lay in front of the train, dead on the ground with fucking limp dick. He just is. Say, hit me, motherfucker. Hit me, motherfucker. He's willing to do it. So, Trader Main said 5 mil Bitcoin is not viable. Bitcoin. All right, bro. That's like what from here? It's a 50x. I'll take 25x. Okay, we have 7 minutes before I'm bringing a Polymarket guest on, and we're gonna do a complete 180, and we're gonna talk about some other markets because fuck it, why not? Because it's mostly just shooting dick today. I'll stay on after when he gets off if you want to keep talking about crypto. Are you a Raoul Pal supporter? When I see shit like this, I am. My tab group here is coins are good. And I mean, we could just go through these quick, really. But again, it gives you an opportunity to reevaluate your investment thesis and what you like. We got a bang on Zcash. Vitalik bull post is very interesting. Can Polymarket guy talk about Pandora Polymarket parlays? Type that in the chat when he gets on. Let me actually text him real quick. Where is he? In your 60s, how much more money do you need? He's gonna be the richest man to ever live, Michael Saylor. He just is. I fuck with an outcome that basically is forces you to either be the greatest trader ever or the worst trader ever, and it's kind of cool to be burn the boats behind you. So Delphi wrote a Zcash article that we can read, not right now, but we'll read it. Vitalik bull posting Zcash, which is cool to see. Vitalik's been on a little bit of a run recently. He's locked in. Vitalik locked in. He really has locked in. So Bology made a good post the other day. I've never been more bullish on crypto because the rules-based order is collapsing and the code-based order is rising. So the short-term price doesn't matter. As international law breaks down, we will need not just on-chain currencies, but on-chain companies. As the post-war order breaks down, we'll similarly need the post-internet order. States will fail and the network will take their place. We need internet capitalism, we need internet democracy, and we need internet privacy. So we need cryptocurrency. The only thing I hate about the Bitcoin maxis, which they've never really been good at, the Bitcoin maxis have never really been good at painting an optimistic picture for Bitcoin winning. They would, I hate to keep glazing them, but they would genuinely benefit from like a Frank DeGod seminar on how to like paint a narrative. They really would. They are not good at this at all. They basically are like, Bitcoin is going to go to $1 million. And when it does, you're going to be living in anarchy. And everyone's like, what the fuck? What? State will collapse, international law will break down, and Bitcoin will be the only thing left. And you're like, what? No. it creates this weird like spiritual dilemma, I think. Like by buying Bitcoin, are you betting on, you know, it's like it almost feels like by buying Bitcoin, you're like betting on the world collapsing. It's kind of dark. It's kind of dark. Like Balaji's like, international law breaks down, states will fail, and the network will take its place. And you're like, Jesus fuck, man. It's fucking dark, dude. It just like I asked Murad, you know, what happens when hyper Bitcoinization takes place, and he's like, you don't want to know. Peter Schiff is like this as well, by the way. Is fear the best persuader? Maybe. Is fear the best persuader? Maybe. I would rather optimism. Is fear the best persuader? Peter Schiff is like, the best thing you can do is buy 1,000 tubs of toothpaste and store them in your basement because that's how worthless the money's going to be. And you're like, Jesus, man. I would rather optimistic, man. It's very dystopian. I don't like the like do this or you're going to die thing. It's like, also timely, Chris Dixon, must have heard I called him out, wrote the thing I didn't read. Let's summarize it real quick. Oh, Frank can't get rid of this fucking guy. Let's summarize it. Summarize this with the key points only. I'm getting skinny, man. My fucking shoulder is fucking torn. It's so whack. His argument in a nutshell. Non-financial crypto use cases are dead. Finance was always expected to come first. This summary fucking sucks. I'm trying to read a summary for stream. Make it better. Please, thank you. Hit the gym, bro. I have a torn labrum. It's like, what do you want me to do? Thank you. Chris Dixon says people claiming non-financial crypto use cases are dead are jumping the gun. Finance was always going to come first. You need mass adoption through payments, stablecoins, and DeFi before anything else can work. Trust got nuked by scams and bad regulation, which is why token communities haven't worked yet. Policy is the key unlock. Genius Act prove it. Stablecoins went legit overnight. Bottom line, long build up, then sudden inflection. Internet and AI follow the same pattern when to build up. So what is he predicting to happen? Another winter storm this weekend in NYC. Be safe. I'm tired of winter storms. He's predicting that once market structure legislation passes the Clarity Act, it triggers the same legitimacy shift for broader tokens that Genius Act did for stablecoins. Unlock trust, which unlocks real token-based communities, which unlocks non-financial use cases, media, AI, social. Basically, regulatory clarity. I'm kind of tired of people spamming the regulatory clarity thing. It's such a fucking cop-out, you know? There's a Besant quote today, by the way. Let me see. Bessent. How do you spell it? Bring Frank on. One day we'll do the Frank trade. One day. When it's time.
You know.
Y'all are so quick. When it's time. I'll be on in 2 minutes, Luke.
Now.
She's kind of a nut, I think. Loomis. I think she's kind of a nut, dude.
Based on what you know now, what is your opinion about the importance of having clear rules of the road, market structure legislation in the United States?
Look, I think that it's impossible to proceed without it. We have to get this Clarity Act across the finish line, and any market participants who don't want it should move to El Salvador.
So,
dude, he's such a fucking chat.
Want it should move to El Salvador.
So, as a industry, what is the benefit to having this industry embedded in the U.S. economy?
Well, again, as I said, that there seem to be people.
Let's go with it. Who is this?
Who want to live in the U.S. but not have rules for this important industry. And we've got to bring safe, sound, and smart practices. And
Bro, this is not a real person. This is dead ass a side character. That is a side ass character, bro. Who the fuck is that?
the oversight of the U.S. government, but also
You're not
allow
even blinking, bro. Look at that. I dead ass can't focus. I cannot focus.
for the freedom that is
You're not even
crypto.
blinking.
And I think it's a balance that is being worked out. It was worked out in the Genius Act, and I'm confident
I dead ass can't focus, bro.
with leadership of people on both sides of the aisle that we can get clarity across the line this year.
Can you see a day when conventional banks and digital asset banking are offering the same types of products, giving each an advantage to offering a broader array of financial products to the American consumer?
I think that can happen over time, and we've actually been working with small and community banks to discuss how they can be part of the digital asset revolution also.
Who the fuck is this? Oh, he's scanning the room for threats like he about to do something. Come on, bro. Stop it. All right. I am going to get off real quick. I'll be back in 30 seconds. And when I come back on, we're switching it up. I'm bringing on Pence, poly market trader, who's up like I think he's up an M 1.1 in the last year trading poly market. We have 20, 30 minutes with him. Talk about some fucking politics, geopolitics, fuck Epstein on Fortnite, whatever. And then we will get back on. If you want to stay on after and talk about crypto more, I'm down to do it. All right, BRB. I need like a better song though. How about this? Dear friends, let's switch it up right now. We are bringing on 50 Pence, who is my favorite PFP ever, and he's incredible poly market trader, and crypto's in shambles a little bit right now, and so I figured, fuck it, let's switch it up right now and cover some other topics. So, as you know, we sit on the bleeding edge of speculative entertainment, and we cover everything. And so I'm actually really excited to get this guy on. I'm getting, by the way, all the poly market like GOAT traders came out to quote tweet this. I got a car quote tweet. I'm kind of geek. Car, what's good? So if you're watching on Twitter from that and you want to chat, twitch.tv/threadguy is the only place I could chat. I'm reading messages. I think there's a Twitter chat, but I don't read it. And I think there's a YouTube chat, but I don't ever read it. So I'm going to bring this guy right now. We probably got 20, 30 minutes with him, talk about poly market trades and how he's fucking profitable. And after that, we'll close with some crypto stuff. It's a fun Friday. I'm excited, and let's fucking look at this guy's PFP. It's so funny. Where is he? Here he is. Tell YouTube to go fuck themselves, please. Thank you. Yo.
Hey, what's up?
50 Pence. What's good, bro? Welcome to the stream. How are you?
I'm very good. Thank you for having me.
Dude, it's hard for me to take you seriously with the PFP, man.
Is it small on your screen?
No,
like
it's the right
mine,
size.
I just see like you got a big one at least?
I got a full size. It cuts like the
okay, cool.
the Pence hairs like cut off a little bit, but it fits perfectly.
Yeah. So I found that there's this like Australian artist. She does spray paint murals. She has like a whole series of them. There's like Swifty Cent, which is Taylor Swift and 50 Cent mashed up. And they got some other kind of disturbing ones.
Well,
How's it going? I got pushed yesterday because the market crashed.
I know, chat. He was
I
supposed
hope
to
we're
come on
doing a little
yesterday,
better.
and I sent him a message, and I was like, brother, I am really excited to do this, but it can't be. We have to move it back one day.
Yeah, I understand. I've definitely pushed off things because of
I pushed you
shit going wrong in
for
weird places.
Michael Saylor MicroStrategy's earnings call, which actually was I was expecting the worst, and we got outcome somewhere in the middle. So that was relatively exciting. But look, I'm excited to bring you on for a plethora of reasons. One of which being the timing is interesting, where crypto is in a weird spot. But I always say that we are on the forefront of speculative entertainment, and we cover everything internet market adjacent. And Polymarket is obviously adjacent, but is a layer removed from crypto market volatility. And I know you trade a lot of other stuff. Like you mentioned to me, you're not really a crypto trader. You trade a lot of other stuff. So give us like a quick intro into who you are, what you trade, and we could dive into some of the fun stuff.
Yeah, so I'm a little bit older than probably your average listener. I'm like around 40.
Okay, hell yeah. Shout out
I'm for sure. Although I have like a 12-year-old and she's like her older sister's already Unk and she's like 15 and a half.
That's hilarious.
I was like, it's rough out there for everybody,
It's
man.
rough.
So I've been doing prediction markets since like 2020. I do mostly political stuff, but because I first started using Predictit, which is all politics, and then now I've branched into other areas. But I mean, it's originally what drew me in. I was an attorney and worked in government, and I worked doing all kinds of stuff that are pretty helpful to Predictit and betting on politics. So I do like a lot of market making, and I'm in like 100, 200 markets, but like I'm
Whoa,
only
you're in
really
200,
going.
200 markets right now?
Well, not on Fridays, bro. But yeah, usually I'll be bidding about that many or positions in that many. But I mean, my style is more like I'll keep like 8 to 10 medium bets going, and then maybe like 1 or 2 big bets a month. So I kind of do like a lot of the like side markets kind of just for fun and
Explain what
collect
happens on
some
Friday. Why
reward.
are you not in as many positions on Fridays?
Oh, I just kind of taking it easy.
Oh, it's just like a personal thing?
No, not really. I was just I today I was particularly not as busy trading as I normally am. I mean, there are days where I'll do, like 16 hours straight of just bidding and shit, and it gets tiring after a while, and inevitably there's like a day of the week that I just end up not doing as much. Um, Although that's a lot more applicable during like election season.
Yeah, fair.
That stuff gets really intense, and you're like sitting around, there are fucking 50 states, and you're getting a poll every 10 minutes from a different state.
Yeah. Makes sense. Tell me, like, okay, what was your like come up trade or trades in Polymarket or prediction markets in general, where you started like smash? Because I know you have like a pretty well decorated portfolio history. Like, what was your come up trade where you started really moving up the P&L ranks?
I mean, the biggest one was Kamala for president and vice president. I mean, that was really like where I made like the big, huge jump. Like like
How big of a trade was that?
that I made like $1 million in total on the whole thing. I had like
Whoa.
my bankroll was maybe like 300 at the time. So, and by the end of that period, it went from like 300 to like 2 million at one point, and then it dropped down after she lost. So I mean, it was a
You were
big.
up 1.7 million on a 300K position.
Oh, that includes other markets as well.
Wow.
But it was during that time. But yeah, I mean, I had I want to say close to 3 million shares at one point,
Whoa.
including the 2 markets. So yeah, so that was big. but that was just, it felt like such a, I mean, it was crazy. She'd been cheap the whole time. And, I knew that the window was narrowing of who it could, as time went on, the odds that it would only be her were going to increase, and it was going to be harder and harder for anyone to run against her if she had to step in. So, and I actually made a lot, mostly because I had a very big Joe Biden bet. I mean, I had like maybe 300,000 to 500,000 down on Biden. I was like, I just gotta hedge this because he's old, and if he died, like I'm like done. If he dies, I had like
If he
money
dies,
on
it's
like,
insane.
yeah,
Were
I
you
had
like?
money
Were
on
you?
sports books and stuff too.
What were you
So
weighing the chances of that at?
of him dropping out, I didn't even. It honestly wasn't. I thought it was like zero, but I was just like, I'm not gonna. She was so cheap. You could get her for 2 or 3 cents, and I was like, it's like 90% gonna be her if it's not him, and I can't buy actual life insurance on Joe Biden, so
Dude.
like I'm gonna take Kamala for like. I swear, I think there were periods where shares for her to be president were below a penny. It was, you get for like 8/10 of a cent. Um, and then, I mean, as soon as like the night that it happened, I was also just slamming it. It was probably maybe like 6 to 8 cents for her to like be the Democratic nominee the night it happened. And I just like, I need to like cover and make sure that my Biden doesn't, there are a couple guys that lost like a fucking shit that, lost like $2-3 million just on Biden dropping out. So that was not never going to be me.
The okay, it's like bringing up interesting conversation. People are asking about this in the chat, and also you kind of just like reference like a death market. Like, do we ever get there with prediction markets?
Of betting on people dying.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't think anyone will make a direct anything that explicit. I mean, it usually
It gets
it can make
borderline
its
though
way.
sometimes, right? Like, will Alex
Yeah,
Collins
yeah.
like finish the Taipei 101?
They could have
Huddle.
rescued him. I don't think that was totally binary. They could have. Well, I guess I don't know. I mean, they could have gotten him with a helicopter or some shit. I don't know. But no, I mean, I don't think. Well, Kalshi now has this thing where they'll. Excuse me, I need.
You're good.
Kalshi has this thing now where they like will. If someone dies, the price will go to sort of. It's not explicitly clear what it is, but it'll be sort of like the range that it traded at prior. So I assume it'll be within a couple cents of whatever like the 24-hour market average had been. But that's actually, I mean, that's definitely not going to be coming to a CFTC regulated
Okay.
exchange.
You brought it up. Okay, so I wanted to just ask. You brought it up.
It actually though like would have use in that case though.
You brought
Because
it
it would
up.
have been pretty cheap.
Okay, so Kamala was your biggest win. What else? And like, what is your? I know it's always like a weird thing, like how are you making money because you erode edge, but like, what is your style of making money on prediction markets? Like, where are you finding opportunities and making money on these markets?
I usually like elections in the 70s or so. I usually like the high 60s, low 70s. Not that I consistently, not that I bet everything that's at 68 or anything like that, but sort of that's kind of like a general. I mean, I lost a lot that way in Romania, but that's like a famous thing where all of the sharp bettors were on the same side and took a big loss on that. But I tend to focus on either like legal stuff or like government process, like the shutdowns and stuff. When will legislation pass? Things like that. But that can be, I mean, it's a pretty complicated thing to trade. Like we just had the government shutdown for like 1 or 2 days this week. And that was a really weird market because I was like the whole time I was like, Like, it was clear to me, I didn't think that they wanted to do it, and I didn't think anything was really such a big deal. But at the same time, like, the window was narrowing, and so, like, I mean, I guess it resolved yes, but it felt very no, and I had a lot of yes, and I was like, I don't really like. It's a very weird position to be like, I don't really like feel great about this, but and like I'm probably the person in here like complaining the most about how this doesn't seem like such an intractable issue, at least of the stage that we're at now and how they're framing getting
Yeah,
out of
yeah, yeah.
this.
I'm the
Um,
most.
so
Yeah.
th-
Go ahead. Go ahead. Sorry.
Now to say, I mean, that's a tricky thing for new people. I definitely wouldn't recommend that any new callers jump into betting big on shutdowns because there's it's just it's a complicated thing.
How much overlap is there on the best traders in the same positions? Like, how often are you, Doma, Carr, and like the best traders on the same side of bets?
Um, I th- I would say I think there's almost always I'd say like 80-20 split that I mean people always will take opposite trades. People don't always trade the same, but I mean I th- I think it's fairly rare for there to be something that I'd consider 50-50. Maybe some of the like Middle East markets or the ceasefire markets. Um, but in terms of like election markets, it's usually pretty stacked one side.
Huh. That's interesting. I saw oh, it was the Fed share that Doma cooked on. It was with Warsh. That was an insane
Yeah,
trade.
yeah. Yeah. No, that was a crazy trade. It's funny. Paul used to be so small. I was looking the other day. I think there were like 200 weekly average users at the end of 2023, like December, Christmas 2023. It's like 200 weekly average users. 200. That's like nothing. I used to have
How many are there now?
notifications. I don't want to like maybe 100 to 200,000. Maybe it's a lot bigger than 200. um, I can look it up if you want, but I'm not the best
No, I'll look it up for you.
talker, and yeah, have production do it. um, so I used to get an alert after every single transaction over $500, and there'd be like 3 or 4 an hour, and I had it with like a crazy monkey screaming and shit, and like it would like set off everything. And I mean now, like it's insane. So tying back to Domer's large position, I like don't look at the leaderboard. I don't look so much at like who has what in what markets. Like it's just become so much that I don't even notice a lot of stuff. I mean, I mostly see things like who has big positions from like people talking about it. So I mean, there are times I'll go to a market and I'll be like, "Holy shit, when did that happen?" Yeah, but no, but that was an impressive bet by Domer. Big win, very big win.
Yeah, it was a good one.
It's probably his like second or third.
It was one of my biggest losses on Hassett, just like being a retard. But I was honestly on that one. I was just gambling. But okay, tell me. We all we do is bring traders on and talk about trades. Really, like, you told us your biggest P&L. What is your favorite trade that you've made on Polymarket? It doesn't have to be P&L size, but like unique execution or the one where you felt the most vindicated and like what. How did you make the trade?
The vindicated one's a good one. I have to think about that. But I mean, some of my favorite trades have been more about like watching things live and like seeing truly crazy stuff. Like I've seen, China, they had this thing that was like the Politburo. They do like every 5 years or so. They bring everybody in. They have like it's like the State of the Union, but they only do it every 5 years. So I'm watching it in the middle of the night, and like all of a sudden, security comes up and like takes this like 80-year-old guy who's sitting like 2 seats from the leader of China and like escort him out. And everybody's like, "What? Like what? Nobody's ever seen anything like that." Like It was crazy. But I actually, it was this really weird fucking random market. It was who's going to be one of the next 12 people on the Politburo or something in China, and the guy's name was Hu Chinua, and I knew the only thing I really knew about that was that he was Hu Jintao's protege, because there's like Little Hu and Big Hu, and I'm watching them take Big Hu off the stage with like 5 security guards dragging him off. I'm like, that does not seem so good for Little Hu. So I went and I like slammed a bunch of it for like less than 10 cents. Like nobody was watching it. It was like literally like 5 a.m. in the morning. I had the book entirely to myself. So that was a very unique moment. And
Wait,
then,
what
like,
was the market? You were betting Lil Who for what?
next member, or no, it was specifically, will he become a member of the Politburo?
And you were betting no
Which
because he
is-
just carried his
I-
Big Who out?
Yeah.
And you watched it on national television?
Not national.
Like they put a
like
fucking bag over his head
Reuters
and carried him
stream.
out, or what?
No, they like picked him. They came in. He like didn't know what was going on, and then they just like kind of grabbed him by the arms and like slowly. I mean, it wasn't violent.
And you just started betting on,
But-
like, no, it's not going to be Lil Who.
Yeah.
Took his
yeah.
dad out back.
Yeah, but this is it's even more. It's like they put like 200, like the whole like main government. It's like 200 people on a stage facing the audience, and it's like it looks like they're like broadcasting like a like huge board meeting or something, but it's like 200 people on multiple levels facing out to the stage. And so it's just, I mean, it's so absurd to watch. And the guy they took out is the former president of China. Sorry, I may have left that part. Imagine at like Trump's inauguration,
Like
if they
carried
came
Biden
in
out with a fucking
and
bag over
they
his
took,
head.
and
And then you're betting that Hunter Biden won't be elected to the next board.
Exactly. Yeah, that's exactly what it was. I mean, it was just wild, like insane stuff.
Holy, you were betting at 10 cents?
It was really cheap because he was supposed to. I mean, sort of. Let's just go with. It was the only market on China on the Politburo I've ever seen. So the guy
Holy
that was like
fuck.
semi-important, famous, and expect. I mean,
Wait,
it was
where were you
definitely up
watching
in the
this?
90s or so. I think like just like a Reuters live stream on Twitter.
Damn, markets are so lit, bro. That's so sick.
Yeah,
Well, I hope
Yeah.
Lil Who's okay. Like, I hope he's fine, but that's a sick.
I haven't checked because they just took out. They just took out like the head of the army, or like the number 1 or number 2 guy in the army. They just axed him this week.
You made like 100 bands and this guy
Yeah.
didn't even check if he's okay? That's kind of dark, dude. I'm not gonna lie, that's fucking dark. That's nice
I
trade.
don't think I made 100K on that. There was a limit, so it was like 850 over 9. I don't know.
At six figs, you check. Shout out prediction
Yeah,
market.
so I
trader.
should
Oh, go ahead.
probably talk. I should probably talk about my biggest loss. That's
Okay, yeah. What's your tell me
that
your
also
biggest
happened
loss.
recently. I guess a lot of people also.
I was afraid to
A
ask
lot
you,
of people in
actually.
the community. Yeah, so I lost almost $600,000 betting that the government would reopen. It was like November 14th of the last year, so it's pretty recent. So it's funny. Everybody's looking. I'm like in the message boards and I can see what everybody's talking about, and everybody's looking at these like old timestamps, and they all say midnight, like like shut down 2019, reopen at midnight. And like looking around, checking stuff, and working with some friends, we figured out that the timestamps don't really matter. That they just like kind of put on whatever, and it doesn't necessarily correspond to when it happened. And it's also, even when it does correspond, it's usually in UTC.
Okay.
So like everybody, all the like like people betting who don't know that much think they have like a leg up because they're like, this is gonna happen at midnight. It can never happen before. Meanwhile, they usually happen at like 9 p.m., 10
Okay.
p.m. and I knew this one was ending pretty early, and that, you know, they'd finish maybe around like 8 or so. So everybody thinks they have one up on me. I think I have this big super secret one up on them. And then it just and for some reason, it just happened at like 5 a.m. in the morning at a time nobody was expecting. Because it was weird. I mean, it was like one of the longest shutdowns ever, and you would think that they want to like get the government open after, and there's plenty of time, but just didn't
Damn.
happen.
Minus 600K on that? Fuck.
Yeah. So, but I have made that all back. So, all's well that ends well.
What did you make it back on?
I bet big on Epstein, that they would release the files.
Okay.
There was like the deadline for, I want to say December 18th, something like that. I'm not sure what or maybe December 15th. I'm not sure what the exact deadline was. Although I felt good about that bet. But now a little bit later, I mean, I had sort of been expecting them to do rolling releases of the documents. So, I mean, that was definitely part of the whole overall thesis. So, seeing them go like an entire month without releasing more, and then just releasing them January 31st, I feel like a little bit like maybe
Yeah.
it wasn't as 100% as I thought the bet would be. But that one worked out, and then I've made some good money on like Iran stuff, and then I made a lot on the days of the shutdown.
So you made the whole 600K back? This is true in a month?
Oh yeah, but I'm up like I'm over $1.2 million since then.
In a month?
No, so like December 17th to now, so it's like 50 days.
Wow.
Yeah. Well, I've just bet bigger on things I feel pretty good about that I have a lot of EV on. So,
Damn,
I mean, it's been
congrats.
wild.
That's disgusting. That's filthy. Go ahead. Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, it's crazy. I was looking like 2003. I have like months with like $300, $2,000. I think the big month was like 50,000. There's one for 30,000, and then now I have, I have a couple months. I have like 6, 7, 8 months over 200,000. So,
Whoa. What is your biggest position open right now?
I honestly don't know. Let me see. I have 300,000 no on Judy Shelton as the next Fed chair. Somehow she's become like a meme coin. She like tweeted her odds about Cauchy. So now there's other. Let me see if I can pull it up. I don't know.
What are the odds on it?
I mean,
Or you said, I don't know.
I'm looking now. I was gonna tell you about the volume. So the whole market now is like 140 million volume. Where's her open interest? I can't. Oh, there's 37 million currently bet on her.
Whoa.
Of 58 million total bet over the course of the contract. That's a really high, very high hold on that. That's crazy. She tweeted about her odds, so I guess she's kind of gotten a cult following.
I didn't even see that. I need to go find that tweet.
Yeah.
Well, that's crazy. Also, you just a couple questions ago you asked it, but I want to give him a shout out. Prediction Market Trader asked about that government shutdown trade, but you just talked about it, but I want to give him a shout out. What is the best prediction market trade you've ever seen from anyone? It could be yourself if you wanted to, but I kind of already asked you that.
I mean, I think I think that not to beat my own horn, but like, I mean, I think both Domer and I did huge positions, huge value on Kamala, and I mean, it's hard. There's probably things that Oh, there's some. Here's a good one. Okay, there's this dude. His name's Windwalk, and
Okay.
there's we had it was an popular vote market, and this dude is buying it. It's maybe like 7 cents, and he's buying, he's buying, he's buying. He gets up to over 1 million shares, and like I'm a terrible person to tell this story. You should save it for someone who knows it well, because I wasn't actually in the market, but it's like a really good, crazy story. So he gets this huge position, makes like 1 million, and then people are all start to like try and figure out like what's going on here, like why is this guy doing this, all of that. And then there were like all these stories about that he was supposedly like threatening the team that was producing the data to change the data, but I think that was all bullshit. But I think that it was something just, that the way that they count the votes, and some things include blank ballots, other people who tabulate totals don't include them, so you just get like different numbers. And I guess maybe he had studied the numbers before and understood that there would be a big difference between the two. But that was definitely
Huh.
like just a very crazy market. And that guy had a big position. It's rare to like sit there and watch someone just like accumulating and like
Yeah, yeah.
slamming into big bids by some big accounts. Um,
Huh.
so that was pretty
Yeah.
crazy. And then
Thank you. Go ahead.
yeah, not I'm trying to think of other ones. Yeah,
I have a follow
I
up for you.
can't
If
think of
not,
it
maybe
anymore.
you could think of
Yeah,
one later. Is one of the last things I want to ask you is like, there's a lot like I really believe that crypto has spawned some of the sharper traders all markets out of the like circa 21, 22, 23, 24, 25 cohort. What do you recommend, or what would you tell like someone that is an experienced trader that hasn't really made money on prediction markets, where to go, what to do, and to like how to get started? Because one of the things I think is unique about crypto traders is a lot of what we're trading is garbage. Not to be blunt about it, but we're doing a lot of trading garbage, and trading garbage like really trains the skill of acting fast on new information, rotating, being able to pivot, and like really that core skill of getting new info and then completely changing your thesis about what you believe and why you believe it. And I feel
yeah.
like it's a when I talk to Doma and these guys, I feel like it's a similar like brain skill that you have to work to be good at the prediction markets. Like, how do you envision the crossover of crypto traders being able to make money on prediction markets?
Yeah, that's a great. I mean, there's really good description, really good framework. I mean, that is exactly what like especially like the live trading part of trading markets. It's exactly how you described it. Um, I don't know how you train that. I mean, it's hard. It helps. I think the most important thing is being in groups and like like Discord chats and finding good people, and something pops off and you can, talk between three of your guys who are really good and who know stuff. Um, and then the other thing would be, figure out what you're good at, figure out what you're best at, and like focus on those markets. And then like another thing that I think is important, there's so many markets that I e I sometimes try and, like, take time off and, like, quiet my mind a little bit and look at all the other markets and, like, just scroll through the list. And, like, if you can connect the dots between what markets are interrelated, like, you can extend beyond the core markets you care about, because like, if this happens, it's gonna affect these 5 other ones. So, I mean, that's definitely like, I think focus on what you're really good at, and then pay attention to all the other markets around it that could be related. There's like one good book that's for like live trading stuff, for like predicting and estimating probabilities. There's I fuck, I can't remember the name offhand. It's something really easy.
Discord to me when you find
Um,
it.
yeah,
Typing.
people, anyone who I mean, search like prediction market book on Amazon. I'm sure that's the
Sick.
first thing that'll come up. But I mean, the book talks about, like breaking down something that's complicated into the smaller parts. And, if there are 10 things required to make something happen and you can figure out much easier what the component parts are and the probability of the component parts happening, you can come to a better prediction than if you just, stare at this thing that is really complex and you don't even know where to begin. Um, what is it? Amazon.
Maybe I'll buy it. I'd fucking read it. I'm on this big reading kick right now. I'm on this big like trading reading
Yeah,
kick.
it's super forecasting. Okay, that was
Super
easy.
forecasting. Okay. Sounds like a dumb
Yeah.
ass book.
Well, it's about this guy studies super forecasters and sort of like what makes them
Lit.
special.
Sick. I just added to my cart on Amazon. Dude, I appreciate you coming on, 50 pence. It's also, I'll just say the after I tweeted that you were coming on, you like every single person that trades prediction markets like quote tweeted it or replied and was like 50 piece to go. Like I can't
Cool,
wait.
cool. Shout out to everybody, man. Everyone, and it's a great community. People who aren't part of it yet should join Polymarket Discord. Look for cool people. I mean, if I don't want to get too many DMs from randos, man, but for
a
the
good group
community
here.
at large, if you if you DM a good substantive question, you'd be surprised at how many good big traders would engage in conversation over you. But you gotta like bring something to the table, and it's something that people can just tell quickly. Like don't DM me like, hey man, you think the Knicks are gonna win? Like that's not gonna work. But it's a good community, and I just want to give a shout out to everyone in it and all the people who I work with and stuff, because it's definitely a team effort and more fun with
Hell
all
yeah.
of them involved.
Thanks for your time, dude. Maybe when we I don't know, we cross the 10M mark, we run it back. Part 2.
Yeah, sounds good.
Congrats on
Sounds
getting
good,
out of the
man.
hole as well. That was fucking insane. That's gonna be a banger kick
Yeah,
too, by the
that's
way.
what people gotta always dig yourself out of the hole, man. Just get back to work. There's a Joe Biden clip, you get knocked down and get back up. So just go to work the next day and keep sweating, keep working.
It's only
It'll
gambling if you
come
lose,
back.
man. Thanks for your time, dude.
Yeah,
Have a good
no
one, man.
problem.
Much
Have a
love.
good one. Good
Peace.
weekend, bro. Bye.
Shout out 50p. That man, he honestly has a crazy story. Like, I need to find his see if do you have his poly market profile? I want to pull his profile. His dude, these guys are fascinating because he's like, yeah, I got 400 bands on Fed share nominee. Like, these positions are insane on some of these trades. Like, I lost 600K because the government shut down a day later. They updated it weird. Here it is. Hey, look at this. This is one of his accounts for sure. Plus 500 on Kamala. It's crazy. Will JD win Republican 100K? Will Tim Walz 100K? GOP wins popular vote by 1 2%, 100K. Israel military response against Iran in October? Yes, plus 50K. Some of these markets are rough. Israeli forces enter Lebanon in September? Yes, plus. Wow, 700K to win 40K on this is crazy. Ethereum ETF approved by May 31st, plus 40K. It's mostly all yes as well. Will Trump win 2024 presidential election? No, plus 32K. Impressive, man. The polymarket traders is like a different type of breed. It's like they're so similar to us, but they trade a different style. Look, this is an active account allegedly. I don't like docs as if it's not supposed to be posted, but link doesn't work. Link doesn't work for some reason. I don't know why. We'll come back to it. Maybe it is. I hear it. We're saying this is his active account. Dude, look at this. All-time P&L. Runs this thing up. Plus, at this cliff, he's up 400K. And then at the bottom, he's down 185K. Runs it back. Oh my God. Actively up 700K. That's insane. This bottom wick to go down 400 total was December 20th. Ran it all the fucking way back. Holy shit. Closed. Yeah, well, government shutdown and minus 400K. Russia-Ukraine ceasefire to minus 200K. Wow. Well, Trump released the Epstein files by December 19th, plus 400. Russia-Ukraine ceasefire, plus 220. Well, polymarket US go live in 2025, plus 175. Wow. G fucking G, bro. What a... I'm telling you, bro, we bring the sharps. We don't bring fucking LARPs on this stream. Like, we just don't. I like that guy. I genuinely like that guy. All right, let me get up real quick, grab a water. And then when I come back, I'm down to stay on for a little bit and talk about crypto, if you would like. Baby. I fuck it up. First time joining one of these streams. Sorry to hear that, brother. On-chain media. On-chain fucking media, huh? Well, this is what's on-chain, huh? Huh? On-chain media. What do you think about this? Give me a take, on-chain media. What do you think about this, on-chain? Media on-chain. What do you think about this, huh? Threadguy, what would you do if you were being cyberbullied? Is that a threat? You threatening me? Is that a threat? No, I'm being cyberbullied. Like, I was gonna make a joke, but you sound like you're being serious, and I feel bad. In which case, I was gonna do the cyberbullying isn't real. Just close your eyes, ha ha ha. But like, what kind of cyberbullying? Like in school or like on a markets account? Stream's been legit heat since NYC. I'm doing my best, bro. We're in an interesting spot here with crypto. Like, it's a Friday. Whatever happens this weekend, I would probably ignore it. I don't know about ignore it, but you know how it gets with Sundays. It gets weird. Threadguy's an opening act for the Rasmus stream. Sundays get fucking weird and alarming and shit gets all over the place. And so I don't entirely know. That was funny. That was good. This chart, I'm obsessed with. genuinely obsessed with this chart. I think this is one of the best looking charts in all of crypto right now. And look, I was a firm, you know what's funny is that on like Tuesday, Wednesday, I was saying, I'm like, dude, I think a lot of people are fucking hiding in hype longs and it's going to get tested. And the outcome happened. Bitcoin got nuked 60K and hype didn't get tested at all. And then you kind of think to yourself like, all right, if the boogeyman didn't come right then and there, like, I don't know. Is it coming for hype? Like, I don't know really what happens. This is a little, I don't know. But hype above 44 and the easy road begins. Hard road is between now and then. But this chart, I mean, is just unreal, really. 7-day revenue. The decoupling is here, by the way. 7-day revenue, 30 million versus Pump's 10. $30 million versus Pump's 10 last 7 days. I mean, that's hype ETC. Gross. Look at this chart, huh? Hype BTC. The thing about Hyperliquid is like Bitcoin goes up, Hyperliquid makes more money. Bitcoin goes down, Hyperliquid makes more money. Everybody rotates and trades metals, Hyperliquid makes more money. Everybody rotates out of metals and trades stocks, Hyperliquid makes more money. It's found itself in a very unique spot. I've seen a lot of people bull posting later too. Zcash looks good, nice. Well, Bear Chain's up 57% today. How crazy is that? Look at the chart. Up 57% is look at these changes. They're 57% is disgusting. I'm seeing a lot of lighter bull posts. This one in particular. Here. High conviction. Daniel Chung. Singularity Capital with Ryan Watkins, I guess, huh? I didn't know that. Singularity Capital with Ryan Watkins, and they're shit about to get lit. I was in a lighter long day one and just got destroyed and had no conviction in it and just said, fuck it. I don't care. But I'm not super excited to play the like ratio game here. Like, I don't really want to play like, oh, it's 5% of hype and it should be like 25% of hype. It's not a fun game to play. It's not. I don't like to play that game. I don't want to be in betas, right? Not in this market. That's a bull market thing to do. That is a we are fucking hot and we're floating and we're euphoric type of thing to do. I'm not excited to play. In a bear market, I don't want to play betas. It's just, it doesn't make sense. Or in a bear ranging market, whatever. I mean, I guess I don't want to say bear market, but I guess I have to, right? Do I have to say that? How's white whale Bitcoin? Let's see. Oh my God. How is this going up, dude? Bro, what? One of the guys that runs lighter reminds me of Tom Lee, bad charisma. You want your founder to be able to flirt with anyone aggressively and do well, for sure. Yeah. Charisma is an underrated founder trait. Like, you need to be able to go into a room and like really flirt. Aggressively flirt. I don't know why I gotta make it weird like that. What are these charts? This chart is white whale versus Bitcoin. So like this chart is white whale versus the dollar. So it's like you have to measure in order to like give you a price on what the white whale is, you have to like measure it against something else, right? So like we're measuring it against the price of the dollar. So like if fucking white whale didn't move and then the price of the US dollar skyrocketed, white whale versus the dollar would be down. But if the dollar doesn't move, white whale skyrockets, right? It's denominated in dollars. And so like you could look at a chart like people always show this, right? People always do ETH BTC. And so this chart, ETH BTC, basically, which is like the worst chart ever, shows you how strong ETH is relative to Bitcoin. So it's like you have the ETH dollar chart, and then you have like ETH BTC. The same way people do like the Bitcoin gold chart. So like Bitcoin USD shows Bitcoin in dollars, and then Bitcoin gold shows Bitcoin relative to gold. And then so like, I think it used to be a popular thing where people would like do pair trading. It used to be like a popular thing. Like from the way I understand it, all crypto 2013 on used to be against gold. People were trading alts or against Bitcoin. People were trading everything. People were trading everything against Bitcoin at one point. That was like a thing. Or the same way like NFTs were denominated in ETH. We were just trading them on ETH value. We were just like praying ETH went up. And then so yes, you can catch rotations this way. Like it's easier to see like what's strong. So like hype chart looks like pretty good. But then like hype BTC looks insane. And you're like, all right, this is the strongest coin. Right? This is a hype relative to Bitcoin, not dollars. Looks insane. The ratio is the highest it's ever been. And so like when I do this, so it's like it makes sense to show like general circular trends, but then like when I do this, white whale versus like Bitcoin, it's like a complete troll. Like I'm just like I'm like, well, I mean, I guess it's not, but I am obviously trolling. It's like a troll. Like white whale BTC is like, all right, bruh. Cause it's like a fucking shitcoin versus Bitcoin. So I'm trolling when I show this. It's kind of funny though. It's pretty funny. Like if the ratio is the highest it's ever been, it's really funny. You could show stuff like this is a good one, is like hype pump is like a kind of a fun chart. See what it looks like. Like hype pump is really strong. Hype pump is really strong. Because those two kind of get looped together, right? Like like before the market nuked and we had like a plan back in, remember like 2 weeks ago we had a plan and we were like ideology coins and businesses. Pump gets looped in with hype, but they don't treat the revenue the same. Revenue does not get treated the same. That so like here's a chart. It's like this is a good one. It's like lighter hype. It's terrible, which means like lighter TGE you should just bought hype. Relative to hype, lighter is terrible. So we have this like little candle and like, oh, being valued 5% of hype doesn't make sense. It's too low. It's like, well, okay, cool. Maybe maybe it should be here. But like, is that really, you really want that chart? Is what you want a long? Or do you want a long hype lighter, which looks like this? Or you could trade this chart, right? I don't know. Just something to think about. Do you care about dominance charts, or are they irrelevant? I have always treated them as irrelevant, but I don't think that they are necessarily. I don't necessarily think they are relevant. I think I just like haven't really cared about them that much, but I'm not sure that they are relevant, actually. I don't know. I would like look at them to see like relative strength and how things are trading relative to other coins, but I'm not entering positions based off dominance charts. I don't think. I'm trying to think, like, have I ever done that? I don't really think that I have, honestly. But it's like useful to be able to pull it out, like it's useful to be able to see like how is this move actually strong, or am I just delusional, right, for a certain thesis? And so I think it's like a relatively relevant if you're like looking for further conviction or to try to get like the full tail of a trade. This is crazy. New perpetual swap market all-time high, share all-time high. When venue is consistently growing while others shrink. Hyperliquid versus sex volume, ATH. Crazy. They're taking a lot more volume, Hyperliquid for the sex. BTCD, yes, Bitcoin dominance is a good one to look at. I have this on my level all the time. Bitcoin dominance is basically like what percentage of crypto is Bitcoin's market cap. And so like if Bitcoin dominance is going up, it basically means Bitcoin's going up relative to everything else and it's stealing all of the flows. And then if Bitcoin dominance is going down, it means like Bitcoin market cap relative to everything else is going down. So either it's going down significantly with everything else, but more, or everything else is going up. Malcolm, thanks for 10 gifted. Thank you, brother. And so what people refer to as alt season is this. Like this is alt season right here. Traditional alt season, which we may never see again. But like, look at this. Bitcoin dominance. Actually, let's undo that. Control Z. This. Bitcoin dominance went from 73%, where like everything was Bitcoin, and it dumped 50% down to 39%. It was just down only. And so that's what people like when people talk about like traditional alt season, they are referring to that. Why do you prefer lighter or Hyperliquid over lighter when lighter has no fees? Well, technically, this is out of my domain a little bit. Lighter does, they have like a different fee model, right? Which somebody correct me if I'm wrong. Also, counterpart team, correct me if I'm wrong. My understanding of it is as Hyperliquid takes an upfront fee and Lighter does the Robinhood model payment for order flow, and they just give you like shit execution on your orders, and you basically end up losing the same amount of money. Like Robinhood is free to execute trades on Robinhood, but they basically are just like selling your order flow to Citadel and these high frequency trading firms that are just like destroying you in the order books. They're front running you. They're giving you bad fills. They're giving you bad orders, and they're making money on your convenience, basically, is what's happening. And so you don't see it directly, and it doesn't really matter if you're trading small size, but you're just getting like shit orders. That's how payment for order flow works. It's very controversial, actually, from the way I understand it. It's very controversial, and Robinhood has taken a lot of heat for this. The way I understand it. This is not my area of expertise, but you're getting hit both ways. And so Hyperliquid's fee is like upfront and on the front end, and they're just like giving you I think they're just like giving you the order flow directly, and then Lighter is like basically selling your, or like Robinhood is. I think Lighter's the same. Robinhood's like selling your orders to these high frequency trading firms that are just like arbing you out the whole way. They're just like cutting up your fucking front running you, back running you, putting you in between, sideways, everything. That's how I understand it. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I think that this is true. Also, I know it's hella controversial. Also, he don't even believe this shit. He don't even believe this shit, bro. Notice how Michael Saylor has never posted technical analysis on a Bitcoin chart ever. He's never done it once. He's never done it once. He's never done technical analysis ever, bro, on the Bitcoin chart ever. He's not doing it. He's not doing that shit. Look at this chart closely. Every recovery in ETH is V-shaped. Symmetric recovery, faster the decline, the faster the recovery. It's like, bro. Brutal. Honestly, brutal. Brutal. Straight up brutal. Murad down bad. Yeah, Murad's been down bad. Such a Dumb tweet, bro. Such a bad tweet. Such a bad tweet. In the future, the cost basis of your Bitcoin will be a social status indicator. Buy any when it was in the hundreds, thousands, 20K, 60K, 250K. It indicates some things about a person, bro. Stop. It's such a bad tweet. Such a it's such a like we deserve a 10K red candle ass tweet. I'm not gonna lie. Like what? Y'all just be tweeting anything, dude. Oh my god. Oh, this was a bad tweet, bro. I'm sorry. I like the guy. He just it's just a bad tweet. You should do coverage on the trenches. There's just like not that much for me to cover right now. You know, like I feel like it's today. Today was like a post-mortem of yesterday and just a fall. Like I feel like I have a responsibility to talk about the state of things broadly, and then when things get hot enough in the trenches, they graduate to our stream. That's the way I feel like things get hot enough, big enough, they graduate to our stream, and then we talk about it. If you want like full trenches, you watch Cupsy, you know. I mean, like things are fine. Maybe I mean, what do you want me to look at specifically? I was trading a little bit earlier. I was trading garbage earlier today. But this is what I usually just look at. I mean, it's good. It's crazy. They still 1.4 million yesterday. People don't start trading that the casino doesn't close. But I'm just like I don't really want to encourage people to like go gamble on stuff right now, you know? Puts me in I'm in a weird spot, like where I feel like we've actually the YouTube crowd is like kind of sophisticated. So I want to go like high level markets a little bit. It's insane they bought back 1.4 million. I don't get it. It's just godly. Okay, here's the crazy thing I've seen in the last couple of days. Is Jeffrey Epstein was killed August 10th, 2019. The Epstein file shows his YouTube account, username littlestjeff1. The files also show he used the same username on the video game Fortnite, and he was an avid player, showing frequent in-game purchases. Fortnite tracker shows his account reached Silver 1 in Chapter 5, Season 1. Chapter 5, Season 1 was released on December 3, 2023. It ran until March 8, 2024. Jeffrey Epstein's Fortnite account was playing from Israel in 2024, 4 years after his death. No, man. So now I have all these Reddit conspiracy theories. Do you want to watch this video? Or no?
And the fact is, we've been sideways, in my view, for a year.
Oh, this isn't. Wait, is this about Epstein or no?
And we've had 4 clear red months. So Bitcoin has been battered. And I don't think people realize how battered we've been. This is already very low. Like, in my view, is unbelievable.
this?
That's like dropping to 15.
I thought it was an Epstein thing. Is the cordyceps tough? I mean, yeah, objectively it is. Who clicked on more videos on the video? Did I click the wrong video? No, I don't think I did.
Matters Bitcoin University. Today I want to answer the question, has Bitcoin been compromised? I think the last few days have been really dark, both inside and outside of the Bitcoin space, mainly due to the Epstein file dump. So I want to answer a few questions and say a few things that I hope will ease some of the stress and the shock that we're all going through. And it's not just about Epstein, though. So much of Bitcoin community sentiment is also price-driven. Very few people were stressed about Core 30, large blobs of non-monetary data on Bitcoin, and Adam Back's endless gaslighting about these issues a few months ago when Bitcoin was at 126,000, and I and others were covering these issues and warning about them. So I think we were actually in a much worse situation back then than we are now, because the price was pumping. Very few Bitcoiners seemed to care about the Bitcoin governance issues that we were struggling with. Now Bitcoin's price is about 40% lower, but at least everyone's eyes are finally wide open as to what has probably happened, and that is this, that Adam Back, one of the most important people in Bitcoin's history, may have been compromised by visiting Epstein Island. And I think it's quite surreal to even be saying those words. I made a video about it yesterday, which I'll link, and I think it's quite surreal to even be saying those words. I made a video about it yesterday, which I'll link to in the description notes below, and you can see the supporting evidence. Now, I think even giving Adam the benefit of the doubt that he didn't go to Epstein's Island with the intent to do illegal or immoral things, the stark fact remains that once someone has visited that island, if these emails are true, and exposed themselves to the surveillance, the compounds being put into food and drink, and other forms of mind control and blackmail, I think any normal and cautious person would consider that person potentially compromised and want to keep them as far away as possible from Bitcoin protocol discussion and development. Now, Adam had been acting in really bad faith, in my opinion, throughout the entire discussion of op return, spam, and Core 30, so at least we now have a potential explanation for his behavior. We shouldn't be surprised that Bitcoin is constantly under attack, since it is such an important project. And if you read Bitcoin history, it's been one attack after another for the past 16 years. And in part, this is what...
You ever seen the movie Slater King with Channing Tatum? Have you seen that?
Strengthens Bitcoin, because it is still an anti-fragile project. Now, Adam was great during the block size wars, I think, but if one is under the threat of blackmail, one can be activated at any time to support the enemy's cause. And I think it's quite likely that this may have been what happened with the push to degrade Bitcoin as money by weighing it down with large amounts of non-monetary data. And if you're wondering whether someone may have been compromised, I think you can try applying the following heuristics. Are they trying to change Bitcoin in a radical way? For example, blowing out a parameter overnight from 80 bytes to 100,000 bytes, and then trying to deprecate the setting completely, as was the original plan that Bitcoin Core had. Another heuristic, are they advocating or defending things that increase the on-chain data footprint or that blow out the UTXO set like inscriptions and BRC20 tokens do? These are two things that we've discussed in the past are part of Bitcoin culture, keeping the on-chain data footprint small and also doing everything you can not to create UTXO set bloat. So if someone's advocating or defending things like this or being inconsistent, that can be a warning sign. Is someone making strange arguments like, quote, filters don't do anything, but we still need to remove this filter, or, quote, we need a larger second garbage can, even though no one's going to use it because it's more expensive than our first garbage can? Those types of arguments are reminiscent, as we said, of the endless gaslighting that we saw during COVID. The people arguing against making radical changes to Bitcoin are usually not the feds. And that's why it's always funny when people try to accuse Ocean guys or Knots guys of being feds or somehow compromised. The Ocean guys are helping to decentralize mining, which is really bad for governments since it makes Bitcoin transactions unstoppable. Again, Ocean is a pool.
Theoretically, what would it mean to be compromised? Like you're being blackmailed, and so therefore you are not acting in your own faith. What is the definition of compromised in this setting?
But every miner in it builds their own transaction list that cannot be censored by Ocean. So if you were a Fed, you would want to do everything you could to keep mining in its current centralized state with these very large centralized mining pools. The ocean guys are doing the opposite. And then we have the NOTS guys who don't want to change a parameter, namely op return, data carrier size, that has been the same for over a decade. So I would say it's unlikely that these people constitute the attack on Bitcoin. If there's an attack, it's most likely being carried out by the people who want to open up new attack surfaces and then gaslight you that there's no risk in doing so, like Adam Back was doing. Everyone needs to put in the time to understand how big.
So they're basically saying Adam Back is like a double agent. Do you want to finish the video or no? I'm like really bored, but do you want me to finish it? No, okay. Adam Back is like a double Epstein agent to destroy Bitcoin. I mean, look, someone's got to get blamed for 1010, right? Sorry, it's a bad joke. Gotta blame somebody. Someone's got to go down. Fuck. Double Epstein agent, what a term. Sell another Bitcoin, bro. I didn't sell. This is a good place to end, honestly. I'm leaving. Honestly, I had fun today, guys. Soul bottom at 6.7. Is that true? No way. Bro, you guys are such fucking idiots, man. Man. You guys are idiots. Crypto people are such idiots, dude. It's just like, what? I just got here. What's going on with Bitcoin? We're up 20% in a day. That's what's happening. We're rich. Everyone in Bitcoin's rich. Anyone that's ever bought Bitcoin is up. No, I'm just kidding. Guys, I had a good week. Honestly, I feel like for the first time in 8 months of streaming every single day, the stream is growing despite market prices getting really bad. I think there's a reasonable chance that that was probably the worst of the like nuking, but the real washout comes with the time fuck. You could get time. We could be stuck in a range for a little bit here. We could be stuck in a range for a little bit here. Lows are going to get tested and we're going to see what happens. I don't have a magic crystal ball. I can't tell you what's going to happen, but I can tell you that when Monday rolls around at 3:30 p.m. EST, I will be here with a 3-hour stream of everything that's happened over the weekend and everything we are going to do about it and how we're going to make money, where we're going to make it, and what we're going to do about it. So I gave him motivational speech yesterday. I'm not going to give one today. What are you doing this weekend? I'm working, bro. I'm working. I will be sitting on my ass on my computer, locked in, trying to fucking get ready for stream on Monday. That's what I'm get ready for the week. Super Bowl. What's Super Bowl? And send me the Telegram link. But I'm like, I'm not doing a whole lot right now. I gotta get shoulder surgery. Probably, I might miss some time on stream, by the way, when I get surgery. I don't know. How long am I gonna miss? Has anyone gotten shoulder surgery before? I might miss some time. By the way, I have a Telegram chat. I don't tweet it. It's only for the stream, but if you want to join, I post dumb shit there. It's probably gonna get deleted soon because I've been getting a little edgy in there. It's probably not good for the brand. I've been saying some like edgy shit in there, cracking some like some dark jokes. I gotta be careful in there. My labrum, yeah. I don't know how long I'm gonna be out for, but some time, I think. And yeah, if you screenshot to Twitter, it's getting deleted. Dude, if you screenshot one message that's in there and I see it on Twitter, the whole thing's getting nuked. So it's like we're like we're in this together. No more hair peptides. I haven't even started the hair peptides. It's sitting on my desk and I'm debating whether or not I should start taking it. I'm debating whether I should take it or not. Show them. I think it has my address on it. I don't really want to show the prescription. I'd rather not. This is my middle name and shit too. I don't really want to type my middle name. Bro, your hair ties work on the wrong part of your body. No, I'm dead. I was like mewing a lot recently. Injection or pills? Pills. You need high T to be a good streamer. By the way, I got testosterone test. I have really high T, like particularly high T. Like one of he was like, "You're how old?" 24. He's like, Jesus. Your T is insane. So how high? I actually have the number. Is that like a bad thing to read before? Read out loud? Should I tell you the number? I kind of forget what it is. I gotta look at it now. I forget what it is, but it was high. It was high. It was high. Highest doctor's ever seen. Told me the best results he's ever seen. So I've been going around like telling people, like I've been like flirting with girls, saying it and shit. I've been like using it as like hey, got my test results, just got my blood work done. Like, oh my God, what? What did it say? Actually, funny you ask. It's high. Oh my God. Really? Yeah. It's high. It says I'm clean and it's high, is what it says. And I bought Bitcoin at 60K. What? On this dip? But threadguy, everybody was so scared. Wait, before there was quantum clarity? Yep, before quantum clarity, I bought. What? Before the MicroStrategy earnings call, you bought? Yep. I actually bought when it started. All right, I gotta go. Bye. Have a good weekend. I'll see you all on Monday. Be great. Stay locked in. 3:30 p.m. EST. You know where to be. I'll be here. I love you. Bye. Sorry.